You look goofy.
Nerdrotic.com.
Yeah! We were on time, although we're a half an hour late. It's amazing how I can rationalize that in my head. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of both genders. This is the Nerdrotic Nooner without Chris Gore. Again. Chris Gore, as you all probably know, had a stroke in Las Vegas. So he's on the mend. Spoke with him last night. Getting better. Going to come back soon. So Chris Gore will return. I wonder it's not a head injury, but maybe he knows Mandarin now or knows how to play the piano perfectly. Hopefully he got some kind of superpower. Or as we talked about yesterday, maybe he just becomes incredibly woke. Upon further review, The Marvels was actually pretty good. Pretty good. Lots of strong themes. Hello, chat. Brian Knert. God, I'm already starting off great. Smooth the DJ. Hey, X-Ray Girl's in the chat. She's also in the back room here. Alex Moore. Oh, my God, it's moving so fast now. Hang on just a second. Magnus the Supervillain, SMD, Spaceman, Ronnie Corbett, B-Cam, Mexi Rage, Sweetie Squad, Stormcrow, Zippa, Forza Blanquito, Yuma Zur, and Jason Cooper, and all the rest. Eric K, there's Eric K and his wrench, all the Modrotics, the Fellowship, the Lurkers. I see you out there. Well, I actually don't. You're out there, I know. Sorry, I got to drink. Nick Freitas sent me a shirt and this. Thank you very much, this coffee cup. Where I'm drinking some Geek Grind coffee. I had to, our version of the ad, I had to take it out because YouTube's been incredibly weird. Something changed. We saw two black cats. There was a change in the Matrix, and they're demonetizing everything. Just everything. So I'll just mention Geek Grind Coffee, link in the description. It's delicious. I was just on with Lauren Chen. That's why we're late. She's great. You know what I like about Lauren? She's a normal person. She's just a person in the media who's a normal person. So please follow her on Twitter, subscribe to her channel, and the Mediaholic channel, her pop culture channel. She is just really nice and great, and I like her a lot. Good people. So I had a good time there talking with Lauren, and so here we go, back to work. Don't want to bury the lead or bring anybody down too much. I'm a little bummed. I'm a lot bummed. I had to put my dog Parker down, our dog Parker down yesterday. She was a good old dog. And she was my pal. She hung out with us everywhere. I miss her big freaking nose, hitting our arms in the morning to wake up so we could take her outside. And she was a horrible dog around other dogs, but she really loved people. We found her. She was a rescue. So she was wandering by a freeway in Modesto. It looked like she had maybe just given birth, whatever. We don't know how old she was when we got her. We suspect 3 or 4. And just a sweet dog. And she got cancer and lived way longer than we thought she would, but she was just getting to a point where she was suffering, and it's hard to tell with dogs. Dogs have a high tolerance for pain, and unless they're just absolutely whimpering right up until the last moment, we gave her a treat, and her tail was wagging. She was all jumping, which made it like way harder, way harder. Yeah, there's a service that comes out and will do it in your home. That ugly business was done. It was tough, but she was a good dog, and we'll miss her. So, hail Parker. Hail Parker. R.I.P. Doggo. All dogs go to heaven. All dogs go to heaven. Will I replace her with a robot dog flamethrower? Maybe. Maybe, but nothing can replace Parker. Nothing can replace Parker. Okay. On to business. On to business. This will be kind of a shorter episode because I'm going to work on a video later today. But we have one article. There's been actually a lot of news. Recently, Matthew Bologna out there was trying to push the narrative that Kathleen Kennedy isn't the woke architect that we think she is. And she has to be convinced to do the stuff with Star Wars. And apparently that's just been okay for over a decade. All right. I fully believe she's completely out of touch. She's a grandma who should be writing $12 checks to her grandchildren and bouncing them on her knee, and knows nothing about Star Wars, had no connection with Star Wars in the past. She had a connection through Steven Spielberg, but she had no connection. She was handpicked by George Lucas, can't forget that. And she's been the worst studio head in living memory in the history of Hollywood, living memory, whatever you want to take. Worst studio head ever. She also hired former Harvey Weinstein assistant Leslie Headland to run a Star Wars show, which will be out in about a month. So there's that. And I was talking about this with Lauren. What we're going to get this year is all the woke garbage that Hollywood didn't think was good enough and was worthy of delaying, and making the big mistake of delaying it to a year where that's pretty much it. Deadpool and Wolverine trailer came out. I liked it. I thought it was good. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it was great seeing Hugh Jackman in a costume and all that stuff. And I hope it's really good. If it's not, whoa, that is going to be bad because it's the only MCU film to come out this year. But last night I went over the release schedule because I try to schedule out for this channel. It's like, hey, what weekends do I need to, ask my cohorts on FNT to watch a movie, and 3 of them will. Because everybody listens to what I say, which is fine. It is unbelievably bad. It is so bad that the only films that I'm looking forward to in the theater outside of War of the Rohirrim and Deadpool and Wolverine are re-releases. If you look at the list, I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes list, and it gets updated all the time. But what we're getting for the rest of the year is a lot of re-releases of older films like Alien. Phantom Menace is coming out. How dumb is Disney to release the Phantom Menace? Like, there's not a lot of good movies coming out this year, and they release it on the weekend of a potential hit, Fall Guy. I mean, they're just dumb. I mean, why don't you release it on the actual day it was released? Forget May the 4th be with you. How about just do it with do May 25th, do it around Memorial Day. I know it's going to be competing with Atlas, with J-Lo's Atlas, but I think it'll do pretty well. But yeah, there's older movies coming out. They're in a bad way. There's a lot of people out there. We discussed it yesterday talking about the end of Hollywood. These articles are not coming out just from like Bounding or John F. Trent. It's videos from me or others. It is the Hollywood Reporter. It is Deadline. It is everybody discussing this. Jerry Seinfeld came out recently and said the movie business as we know it is over. And that's the 5th time I've heard that in the last 3 months from either a celebrity or somebody in the access media. Like, it's fundamentally changed. We know it's not ever going to be the same. And it was exacerbated by the strikes, like everybody said it would be. But we're still going to get the leftover. The Agathas, the Ironhearts, the Acolytes. We got the American Society of Magical Negroes. We're getting all the leftover stuff. And it's going to damage the Hollywood brand even more, even if that's possible. Then, of course, there's Doctor Who, which is at the stop it, it's already dead portion of its story. But they're not going to go down without a fight. There was a article Lady Gravemaster just put up in our Discord, and I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But then I can. Because apparently the solution is to be more woke. Oh my God. And somebody asked us on Lauren Chen, like, what is woke? Woke is intersectional. Well, woke used to mean we're waking up. There used to be a book that you could find at any, like the Virgin Megastore when those were around, Borders. And I'm going to paraphrase the title because I can't exactly remember it, but it's Everything You've Been Told is a Lie. That's been going around. That's what woke is. That's what woke used to be. Woke used to be waking up to the man, and what it's turned into is intersectionalism, oppressed versus oppressor, colonization, it's identity politics. It's segregating everybody into camps, into oppressed camps, including white women. White women. Now, woke white women are some of the most oppressive people I've ever seen and a bane on our existence. But their big solution is there just isn't enough equity. When our mantra from day one has been tell a good story. Ultimately, if you tell a good story, doesn't matter who's in it if it works within the story. I believe fully that Hollywood was just naturally moving that way, but they tried to force it in, and then it became about revenge. It became about revenge and the message. Revenge and the message. How does it look with RTD right now? RTD, who successfully brought back Doctor Who, Russell T. Davies, if you don't know, successfully brought back Doctor Who. He had arguably some of the best series. It was wildly successful. He was inspired by Buffy, and it appealed to absolutely everyone. And as I said on Lauren Chen, he was a real gay icon because he was an icon. Not a gay icon, an icon. Because his show appealed to everyone, and everyone loved it. And he just so happened to be a gay man, which is just one aspect of his personality. And it didn't fucking matter because he wrote a good show that everybody liked. That Republicans, Democrats, Tories, whatever parties you have over there, socialists, communists. I don't know all the parties you have in the UK, but everybody liked it. Brought everybody to the table. But now it doesn't. Largely because RTD is now a bitter activist. Instead of showrunner RTD, we got bitter activist RTD. And as we all know, activists are no fun. They're no fun. There's nothing fun about an activist. And it's supposed to be a fun show. And a lot of entertainment is supposed to be fun. So, of course, they put up 3 examples, which are good examples of diversity that did well. Although it's not really diverse. They want more movies made with all of one race, just not white people, which I wouldn't call diversity. Now, Everything Everywhere All at Once, good movie. The first Spider-Verse movie I liked. The second one, it's well made, but where it's going, it's going to be a woke disaster. And Miles Morales is Miles Morales. But it's still, for the Miles Morales movie, it's pretty good. Then there's Black Panther. So they don't really bring it up. So I'll start with Black Panther. Why did Black Panther succeed? Why was it this huge hit? Number one, Black Panther, created by two Jewish men, was a popular character. Every Marvel comic book reader of my age had read him in an Avengers book, in his solo book. The Christopher Priest Marvel Knights book is his best. Prior to Reggie Hudlin turning it into some kind of black supremacist book. I mean, there's no better way to put it. And retconning Wakanda into basically Asgard. And which I guess is fine if you base it on like African mythology. I'm totally cool with that. But Black Panther, popular character. Everybody liked him. Everybody knows him. He's definitely an Avenger. Like if you made an Avengers movie now, the one you should make, it should have Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Panther. Do you want to say Ant-Man or Yellow Jacket? I would say Yellow Jacket, Wasp, Scarlet Witch. Those are the Avengers. Mix and match here and there, but those are the Avengers. Definitely put Black Panther in. By the way, Black Panther's now a girl. But Black Panther did really well because A, popular, established character. B, it's one of the best marketing campaigns I've ever seen. They convinced people that to fight racism, you should watch this movie. And arguably, it's a decent film. Now, Jeremy, the racist that he is, gave it an 8 out of 10. I wouldn't go that high, but I didn't hate it. Bad CGI, really bad CGI. Overrated, definitely. Overrated as a film, completely. Won't argue with that at all. At best, mid, But $1 billion movie, huge hit, undeniable, cultural phenomenon. So they turn Black Panther into a cultural phenomenon. Chadwick Boseman was really good as Black Panther. He was better in Civil War. That's the best version of Black Panther. But that's why it succeeded. Not because of the diversity. But Hollywood forfeits up to $30 billion every year because of racial inequity. Over 3 reports, McKinsey has tallied up the entertainment industry's opportunity cost of continuing to diminish Black, Latino, and Asian Pacific Islander colleagues and audiences. So this is a report based on whatever their method was, doesn't really show, tells it a little bit of potential lost money because they haven't been more equitable. I would argue, why don't you stack it up? Why doesn't somebody do a report on potential lost money from not respecting the source material? Disrespecting legacy characters, because I'm telling you, scroll back up real quick, X-Ray Girl, please, to the headline. So 30 billion lost on that, huh? I'll say 100 billion lost on Guy Ladriel over Galadriel, Jake Skywalker over Luke Skywalker, killing Han Solo, killing Princess Leia, not recasting Black Panther as a man, killing Iron Man, killing Captain America, destroying the Star Trek brand, the erasing of Kirk, turning Doctor Who into a girl. 100 billion, low estimate. Low estimate. Nobody's saying don't be diverse. Cast the legacy characters the way they looked, the way they've been established. If you want to flip around, especially with Doctor Who, the companions, you can do whatever that you want. And they did. It was already diverse. Oh, so yeah, somebody needs to do that report because it would dwarf this. And I would start with tell a good story. Just imagine if Amazon had paid a little extra instead of it being sold to the Embracer Group. Amazon definitely could have bought some Lord of the Rings rights from the Embracer Group, probably got the rights to the Silmarillion, and adapted a kick-ass second-age Lord of the Rings show that would actually be one of the biggest shows in the world, if done right. Now, there's a lot of ifs in this. If they found the right person, if the right person who wasn't Jennifer Salke was involved, lots of ifs. But potential, we're just talking about potential, potentially biggest show in the world. And not trying to tell the whole story of the Second Age, just pick one. Pick Numenor. Just do Numenor. That's all you need to do. There's many others you can pick, but that's just one off the top of my head. Okay, so we can scroll back down. Thank you, X-Ray Girl. Yeah, when I saw this article, I'm like, this is insane. This is insane. Keep in mind, there's articles being written everywhere now. Talk of Hollywood has lost its prominence. Lost it a long time ago. Hollywood isn't the go-to entertainment anymore. And it will diminish further, particularly from this year. This year is going to do as much damage. And there's an article written on that too. This year will do as much damage as last year did. At least last year they had a full release schedule. Now most of the movies were bombs, but we had, Barbenheimer. And the rest of the films got Hiroshima to Nagasaki. Would you pass up on 30 billion? I don't know. Would you pass up on 100? Hollywood top decision makers and gatekeepers apparently are the ones to do it. Beginning in 2021, the consulting firm McKinsey has, this consulting firm, I'll have to look into it. I'm guessing backed by the NAACP, that's just off the top of my head, has published a series of reports exploring the entertainment industry's representation and inclusion of historically excluded people. As you and I both know, representation and inclusion is about exclusion. Now, this isn't the 1960s where that stuff was happening. It's definitely happened in the past. No one's denying that. But it ain't happening now. The article does make a couple of good points that I'll agree with, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I don't know if we're going to read it's kind of a tome. I don't know if we're going to read the whole thing, but we'll get the gist here. Where was I? Historically, along the way, the analysts totaled up the potential financial revenue that Hollywood could stand to gain if it adopted more culturally inclusive business solutions. It has! And it's failed. So obviously, we need to spend more of other people's money for your ideological experiment that is completely based on exclusion. $10 billion per year. That's per year, by the way. From closing the black inequity gap, an eye-popping $12 billion to $18 billion from properly valuing Latino professionals and consumers. That's a huge base, specifically in Southern California, by the way, here in Texas too. But what Hollywood completely misunderstands about the Latino, fundamentally, pretty conservative in their beliefs. Now, a lot of them vote Democrat, but fundamentally, church-going folk, family-oriented, not really big on the manual or automatic transmissions, largely. That's why a lot of them are flipping, but I think it's a misunderstanding of that market on a large part. And in the latest report released today, conducted in collaboration with Goldhouse, another one I got to look into, $2 billion to $4.4 billion from more effectively tapping the Asian and Pacific Islander market. Well, stop the Asian hate, for one. Stop the Asian hate. The latter figure is calculated based on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics data. By the way, the U.S. Bureau of Labor. Does anybody see that as an objective organization? No. Data that Asian Americans earn on average 30% more than non-Asian Americans. That's probably true. I wouldn't deny that for a minute. But spend 35% less on media. Maybe they're frugal. Maybe is it American media? Are we talking about American media? Because that needs to be pointed out. Because Asians spend a lot of money on media. Like a lot. So I'm guessing it's American media. Meanwhile, McKinsey's own survey of API consumers found that nearly half would spend more money, 49%, and time, 47%, on film and television with more authentic representation. Remember Echo? Did that feel authentic? Was that authentic representation when the amputee, deaf, I won't say body positive. That's not fair. I'm legit about that. She just had a baby. All right. It was the filming schedule and stuff. So gonna laugh that one. But indigenous person, where the big climax was Kingpin and his white muscle wanted to kill everyone at a powwow. Was that authentic? Did that feel authentic? I can't remember. It's God, what's her? If it was authentic, then you would hurt the actress. God, what's her name now? I know it's got Cox in it. Go. Alaqua Cox was not. She wasn't in the tribe that was represented in the show. She's not from that tribe. At all. So that's not really authentic. Just want to point that out. So authentic representation. What is authentic representation? Is forced representation authentic? I don't think so. Put plainly, oh, please do. Asian Americans have a lot of money. And why is that? Family oriented, work hard, buy into the American dream. Despite, I lived in San Francisco, and there's Chinatown, and then there's Daly City where all the Filipinos live, but they all do outside barbecues. They go to work. They own businesses. They buy cars. They send their kids to school. They love their children. They're Americans. And they do pretty well. They do pretty well. Asian Americans have a lot of money, and they would spend more of it on media if it better reflected them. They do the media from the East that better reflects them, but more importantly, it's better. It's just better. It's just better. With movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was good, and Parasite, which I did not see, so I don't know. Won Best Picture. I remember a pudgy redheaded YouTuber getting destroyed. What was his name again? I'm blanking on his name. We talked about it on Friday Night Tights many years ago. Who was it, chat? Who was it? What was his name? Who went viral over his Parasite review? Robert Storms. Yes, Robert Storms. Thank you, chat. That's so funny. That was hilarious. And it's what's funny is like he hated the movie, and the 2 times our good friend Ryan Kinnell's gone viral, he liked the movie. He liked the stuff. He's defending it at least. Like Ryan was the one guy trying to like play devil's advocate with Blue Beetle. God bless him. With movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once and Parasite, and television series like Beef and Squid Game. I like Squid Game. It was definitely told from a communist point of view, but I think it very unintentionally, or maybe intentionally, showed how bad communism can be. But it really hates capitalism too. Sweeping awards, by the way, doesn't need a second season. It's going to get one later this year. And artists like Dwayne Johnson. Okay, I like this part. Sweeping awards and artists like Dwayne Johnson, Taika Waititi, and Mindy Kaling on the celebrity A-list. By the way, totally unrelated. Shout out to Disbrew. Velma season 2 premieres tomorrow. Dude, it's Velma Eve for Disbrew. He's got his Velma tree up. He's dressed got his bad Velma sweater on. He's ready to go. Let's go, Disbrew. Yeah, A-lister Mindy Kaling and Taika Waititi. It's true that Asians and Pacific Islanders are enjoying unprecedented levels of prominence and prestige in current pop culture, but it's not enough, obviously. But there are a couple of caveats to keep in mind. For one, the progress is relative. Almost anything is better than a handful of major roles every few decades, especially when the representation includes characters like Mr. Yunoshi or Apu or Long Duck Dong. Oh my God. You know what will be better as a society is when, and I don't know if this will happen, when comedy fully comes back, and not just in stand-up, where it's stand-up comedy is doing great. Very healthy industry, by the way, and that's good. That's a good thing for America. It's a good thing for freedom. It's a good thing for free expression. It's a good thing for everything. But we need the comedy film for, if Hollywood is going to be healthy, it needs to bring back the comedy film that like does not give a fuck, right? Including having a Long Duck Dong as a joke. It's just a joke, right? So maybe not to some people, but honestly, I don't think most people give a shit. Secondly, although API represents in film leapt from 3 to 20% in the 20 years between 2002 and 2022, 85% of the recent representation is in movies produced outside the United States. Well, again, that's good. You would hope there's representation in movies produced outside of the United States, particularly in the ethno-state of Japan, the ethno-state of Korea, even in the ethno-state of China. China. I mean, you would think there'd be representation. Or the ethno-state of Wakanda. Wakanda forever! Which means that the API faces seen on screen do not necessarily reflect the experiences and the perspectives of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders living here. But then how am I supposed to enjoy Eastern entertainment? How am I supposed to enjoy, I just talked about it on Lawrence, that's why it's on my head, Parasite the Maxim. I don't speak Japanese. I've never been a Japanese high schooler. I've never been a parasitic alien wanting to take over the human race. I've never been animated. I don't know how I'm supposed to enjoy it. I don't see my personal experience in it at all. I've never been a Japanese schoolgirl. So I guess I'm not supposed to enjoy it. Furthermore, API representation has a pronounced genre skew. Nearly half of the wide release features with API leads are action adventure movies. Well, those are the ones that are bringing people into the theater. The basic bitch drama is not. That used to, there used to be Kramer versus Kramer. There was a film, younglings out there in the chat. There was a film that won Best Picture that was called Ordinary People. Hollywood made a film called Ordinary People. And it won. It won a ton of awards. It's so authentic. Yes, dramas are for TV. They are for procedural. They do really well there. Nobody's going to pay $20 and sit in a 4D box seat to go watch two people crying at a table over something. And most of us, if we want drama, we can just remember moments of our life. Dramas suck. They're easy. One of the hardest things to make, a comedy. Kramer versus Kramer, The Verdict. Good films, by the way. Way easier to make than something like Dodgeball. And you're going, what? These are quality films with A-list actors. Yeah. But it's, you know what? A redemption story. It's a good story. We love it. That's way easier to do than make somebody laugh for a couple of hours or an hour and a half. Way easier. Not saying it's not a form of art and creativity. I'm just saying it's way more difficult to keep people laughing that long. And ultimately, what would you rather see? You're kicking back on a Sunday, chilling. You're like, am I going to watch Kramer versus Kramer or Dodgeball? You're going to pick Dodgeball every time. Every time. Every time. The more wildly they are distributed, for example, in the 5 years between 2018 and 2022, 76% of American movies is limited to theatrical release with at least one API lead, i.e. The Farewell, were considered race-specific compared to just 37% of the wide release features. The phenomenon of cultural invisibility. Cultural invisibility! You need to see me. I need to be seen. Dude, we have a narcissism pandemic. Is not shared across other racial groups. For example, McKinney's 2021 report on black representation in Hollywood found that black-led films were twice as likely to be race-specific than race-agnostic. Yes. And you know what? I don't give a shit. That's fine. Tyler Perry, go ahead. You don't see anybody complaining about it because I don't care. Like, make that film. Go ahead. Oh, that's a big word, X-Ray Girl. Disaggregating? Disaggregating? Oof. Ouch. I sprained my brain on that one a little bit. I feel like Chris Gore. Representation data by genre, by producing country, by equality analysis. Analysis is particularly crucial for the umbrella and equity known as API. This tends to obscure our outright or erase Pacifica, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islanders. Well, I mean, not as much as the federal government is in Maui right now. Oh, should I not point that out? Should I not point out that they had a horrible, unprecedented, once in 100 years fire that destroyed lives, burned down freaking everybody's homes? Insurance companies dragged their feet. Federal government really dragged their feet. And now it's being used as an opportunity to rebuild with equity. Meaning a bunch of rich people in the government's going to steal the land. And Oprah and Dwayne Johnson are going to ask you to donate money. The billionaires. Is Dwayne Johnson a billionaire? Oprah's a billionaire for sure. Thoughts and prayers to Maui, though. Been there a lot of times. It's unbelievable that half of it fucking burned down. Where was I? Half of the 310 API lead roles in movies from 2018 to 2022 were played by actors of East Asian descent, and 17 Pacifica leads in those 5 years were played by just 5 men. Now, this is funny. Now, this is something we like. All the Latino representation right now is Pedro Pascal. Like, Hollywood definitely finds a favorite and they stick with it because they're the freaking racists. Who were mostly, okay, I got to read this again. 17 Pacific leads in those 5 years were played by just 5 men who were mostly in action movies and who were mostly Dwayne Johnson and Jason Momoa. They're not wrong on that one. They're not wrong on that one. But, well, The Rock is a personality. Don't know how well his movies do. And when Jason Momoa is a little leaner, ladies like Jason Momoa. They do. You know, on paper, probably could have been a pretty good Conan. Just wasn't. As our research and... did I read that one already? No. As our research and analysis have demonstrated, executives don't need to act out of altruism. Really? Because the McKinsey authors, I really got to find out everything. I need to do some digging. Lady Grandmaster, are you out there? Find out everything you can about the McKinsey authors. There's another group up there in the first paragraph that I want you to look at the background of too. Could be nothing. Could be something. The reasons for improving on and off-screen representation, the reward of getting it right could create a real impact for the industry, and the prize will only grow. Progress may not be easy, but when it's completely enforced and it's used for excluding, it shouldn't... that was me adding it there, may not be easy, but when the enhanced richness of storytelling is accompanied by a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, the business case is clear. Okay, stop right there. Stop that. Again, my retort is you specifically with genre, with adaptations, Hollywood has done this. They have tried to include everybody, even when it's really fucking ridiculous. Like with a Black Queen Viking. Or when you don't properly represent the races that Tolkien already set up in his own secondary world and try to force in others, again, from a man who meticulously put his world together, it breaks the world. So it's a bad business decision that costs you money. So the potential losses there are huge, fucking huge. And I think it's a lot more, it's a lot easier to measure them than this bullshit. Because this is a pipe dream. So you're basing it on what though? What are you basing this potential on? I see 3 movies that you put pictures of that you didn't talk about. You talked about Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay. But I didn't see Miles Morales being mentioned. I didn't see Black Panther being mentioned. You want to know why? Because they're anomalies. And the reason they're anomalies is at least with those 2 stories, which you may like or hate, they went to the source material. They went to, and they're from the source material. They went to the story. So there's that. We're done. We're done. I can't fund it, but if there's some weaponized autist out there who would like to do a report, I'm sure a lot of people would talk about it, of potential losses on fucking with legacy characters, fucking with source materials, pissing off fans, and shitting on legacy characters. Because I think 100 billion is a very low estimate of losses. That might, you know what? Well, I won't say 100, but I'll say with Star Wars alone, it's 10 billion. Just theatrically. It's 10 billion. Based on what they've announced, what they've scrapped, and the diminishing returns from the Disney trilogy. By the way, Star Wars lost money. Hashtag Star Wars lost money. Marvel, we're still measuring that, but you know, it'd be a good measurement if Deadpool and Wolverine's successful, and it's a fun movie because you put Deadpool and Wolverine together and you put Wolverine in a costume and you just had the heroes act like heroes, and that thing makes a bunch of money. Then there's your measurement, and it's bookended between Spider-Man No Way Home and Wolverine and Deadpool, and then we can talk about everything in between. And you would very easily be able to measure your potential losses by Black Widow. Make Black Widow a rated R spy movie. I know, crazy. A rated R spy movie where Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow uses her sex appeal, one of her powers, to fight the bad guys. It would have been well received. It would have done relatively well in the theaters, and it would have great rewatchability. Great rewatchability. That's just one example. One example of everything you could have done so much differently, but you decided to go for intersectionalism. And it failed. It failed miserably. Absolutely miserably. Yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy, that article. Could not believe it when I saw it. Black Widow should have been a Phase 2 movie. You're right, Rodimus Prime. It should have been done a lot earlier. There's a lot of should-haves in Phase 4 and 5. Silver Surfer should be a dude. Silver Surfer should be a dude. So I wouldn't hold out a lot of hope for that. And we'll go back to this real quick. I'll find it. Could you get the Jerry Seinfeld one? Now, where in the hell did she put it? That's Nooner research. Oh, it's in real BBC research. Where did that go? There it is. Because we'll So again, one of many articles, Jerry Seinfeld says the movie business is over and film doesn't occupy the pinnacle of cultural hierarchy anymore. Disorientation replaced it. If you scroll down, he basically says the same thing. And then he talks about stand-up comedy. And he says, hey, they were talking about directing. There we go. Scroll up to the paragraph before that. I don't believe in regret. It's arrogant to think you could have done something different. You didn't. That's why you do what you do. Remember Jerry and Seinfeld in the past, by the way, he won't do shows at colleges anymore because of the PC bullshit, right? Scroll up one more. It's basically where he repeats, look for disorientation. Or not. I'll just read it. There it is. All right. So what, if anything, has replaced film? Depression? Malaise? I would say confusion. Disorientation replaced the movie business, he answered. Everyone I know is show business every day everyone is going, what's going on? You got to say it in Jerry Seinfeld. What's going on? How do you do this? What are we supposed to do now? Find another job, go to trade school. I've done enough stuff that I have my own thing, which is, she's gone, fucking Canadian internet. It's like their healthcare. It just dies. Which is more valuable than it's ever been. So he's got his own thing. And then he talks about stand-up comedy basically being a healthy industry right now because it's authentic. It's real. You can't fake it. You can't fake it. You're there. The guy's got his routine. It's rehearsed, but he can still fuck up. There are no do-overs. And if you're talented, even if you fuck up, you can learn to work with it. I just saw Rob Schneider live. It was freaking great. It was great. So, yeah. A little bit of trouble. They're in a little bit of trouble. And we trying to warn you. Now we're the enemy. So right now, I think it's just people eating the popcorn, like I said, what happened, and watching it go. Watching Doctor Who would be chronicling its demise. Might sit through the first one. I might bang my head till it bleeds. We don't know. I'm not going to watch Velma, but Disparu is. So go watch Disparu's coverage of it. I think it's dropping all at once, which is very unusual it's absolutely unusual for HBO, for Max. So there's that. There is that. All right, let's get to you guys. Like I said, shorter show today. You're watching. Hi, Chris. I only made fun of your stroke once. I'm not like Az. I'm not that insensitive. Hail Chris Gore! Hail Frank Gore! Okay. Enoch Maman, abuser of Streamlabs. 3 parts for $22. Hi, Gary. I saw the first 2 episodes of TNG last night. Excellent. I know the first season is supposed to be the weakest. It is, but Encounter at Farpoint, I like it. But I'm already intrigued because of how different it is from TOS. I'm just excited to see it improve. Q was awesome, by the way. Q is fucking awesome. Okay, I love Q. Listen, at the time when it came out, I'm like, fuck this show. What's this bald guy? What's going on? Okay, there's one guy who kind of looks like a Kirk because I'm a Kirk guy, right? But like, what's this old English Ponce is going to, what the hell are you talking about? And we watched it every week. And it came out like I was 17. So we were like sparking bowls and watching Star Trek. Yep. Breaking out the little sticky icky, watching some Star Trek. And we were bitching about it at first, but I like Q from day one, from Jump Street. It's Picard who I wasn't sold on. But that changed pretty quick. Totally unrelated, but I was going to bring something up when you were on Lauren Chen's show, but I forgot. After I learned that the Custodes were Henry Cavill's favorite class of 40K, I can't help but think that it was a personal attack against him. I mean, like, dude, if it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck and it gets fed like a duck, then it's a fucking duck. His protection of lore and his constant defense of fans, no doubt, rubs wokies the wrong way. Yes, both of those. But I think if we want to Like, let's say which one pisses off the quote-unquote wokies the most. It's the defensive fans. Absolutely, 100%. The defensive fans. They hate fans. The access media hates fans. A lot of creatives hate fans. It's an unfortunate truth. Particularly in niche hobbies. Why? Because fans are critical and creatives are sensitive. Artists are sensitive. They're sensitive people. Not all. Not all. There's some people who can fucking take it. Some people who can't. It also wouldn't be the first time a company attacked one of its actors with a lore retcon. Feige says Chris Pratt is his friend, but still okayed Star-Lord's queering up in the comics. That's right. So for those of you who do not know, Kevin Feige is the final word at Marvel Comics. That has been the case since Ike Perlmutter was sent packing. The buck stops with Kevin Feige. A lot of the changes that are happening, particularly with Ms. Marvel in the comics, were to make it line up with the show. And I was also told specifically by David Gabriel way back in the day that was a mantra. But Kevin Feige didn't have for one, he wasn't in control. But that was a mantra that they were going to try to make the comics line up with the movies. They came out with a comic called Avengers Assemble, which is supposed to be the movie Avengers. My shop did a variant for it, but we knew that was coming. I was told at a retailer summit many, many years ago. Gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Who did that? Some Norwegian guy. Thank you for $25. Appreciate it. Sean Ferris for $17.76. Hail. Hail, Gary. Best to Chris. Hail, chat. Fandango just announced that the trilogy extended will be in theaters June 8th through 10th. You going? Hollywood is saved. Oh. Rebel Moon? No. Oh, are you talking about Lord of the Rings? Yeah, it's a fucking smart move. They should do it every quarter. If you're talking about Lord of the Rings, fuck yeah. Yes, I will be there. I will fucking be there. June 8th, huh? June 8th. Where will I be June 8th? Stay tuned. Because I'll see if I can get a theater. I'll see if I can get a theater. Stay tuned. If they do that, it's smart. And like I said, I was looking at that. You can look for yourself. Go look up the 2024 movie release schedule. I think Rotten Tomatoes comes up and you will see all the re-releases. Because, the theaters are fucked right now. Enoch Maman continued. The next time you get in an argument with Jeremy over Weekly versus Binge, remind him that Titanfall 3 is never coming out, but Atlas is. Yes. And he can binge it all at once. No, it's just a movie. But it's the argument equivalent of kicking a guy in the balls when you're pissing on him while he writhes on the ground in pain. I will just make the argument now. Fallout created a ton of conversation, good or bad. If you like it, cool. That's totally cool. If you don't like it, totally cool. But man, it created a lot of conversation that's already dying out. 1 fucking week, and it's already dying out. And it will be completely silent in 2 weeks. By next Friday, it'll be. If Fallout was released weekly, could you imagine this conversation going on for 8 weeks and building up? So from a business standpoint of making your show successful, making it talked about, making it a water cooler show, because that's what everybody wants is a water cooler show. And you'll never get that when you drop it all at once. Not as a viewer, not as an audience member, as a businessman. You just flushed. Lauren Chen did the math for me. 11 Godzilla -1s down the fucking toilet. because that's how much Fallout cost. 11 Godzilla minus ones. Godzilla minus one, it's like doing the backstroke in money right now. It's doing the fucking backstroke in profit. For one, it only has to pay like 50 people. It only cost 15 million is supposed to be high, by the way. It's more like 12. And when it goes out in 4K, when it hits the secondary market, even this dying secondary market in digital and 4K, it is going to make, it's pure profit. Pure profit. And then there'll be the soundtracks, which I've already ordered mine. I've got mine, the blue vinyl soundtrack. Can't wait to get it. Posters, T-shirts, toys. There will be toys. It will fucking make so much money. And good. I'm not showing any favoritism. I just want you to cut your 65-minute arguments down to 5. Well, maybe we should release our arguments weekly. I also enjoy causing pain, not actual allegiance, just sadism. Yeah, don't pick a side. Don't pick a side. Vipercrest for 200 Norwegian krona. Finally, I got a notification for a stream. Opinion, Dune 2 and expectation on Alita 2. Love from Norway? I don't know where the K comes from. Hey, thanks for the Norwegian krona. I will say that I will watch Alita 2. I liked Alita, Battle Angel, a lot. I thought that was a good movie. Dune 2, I liked. I definitely liked the movie. Zendaya wasn't good, though. Sebs Duran for $19.99. I had to work with McKinsey folks. They know they're manipulating everyone. Yes, thank you. Especially, I mean, there's manipulating data and then hey, we're going to speculate and just pull a fucking number out of our ass. Okay, I can do that too. And I bet you mine's way closer. We need a renaissance, as they say in the UK, of culture in every way. Family, tradition, art, music, architecture, cars, books, films, comics, food, martial arts, hobbies, community activities, etc., etc. And the Fellowship is fighting for it. Long live the Iron Age. Hail, I agree. Thank you for the $49.99, Samuel Ayrton. And I think we are. And ultimately, it's going to be a company will change. I think one will. I think one will probably go, You know, it doesn't mean they're not going to make woke and I think Netflix definitely has changed their tune. Completely? No. Do they still put out woke, stupid shit? Yes. But they're also they're putting out some other more traditional stuff. And Amazon Prime put out Terminal List and Reacher. And despite Alan Richardson being a fucking woke retard, I mean, he's a retard. That is, and if he's listening, room temperature IQ, bro. Maybe those steroids making your pee-pee small are affecting your brain. But a lot of conservatives watch Reacher. It's a general audience. And in that general audience, I'm guessing half are conservative people, who again, I said it on Lauren Chen. If you want to say, I don't like the orange man's policy, nobody gives a shit. That's fine. Okay. You can not like the policy. And you can break down why you don't like the policy, and that's fine. But when you come out, it's the kids call it today, and maybe they haven't been calling it for a long time. I'm old. Catching strays. A lot of fans, a lot of audience members feel like they catch strays when a woke idiot like Alan Richardson, who has a hit show, and I was asked by Lauren if it affected the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and I'm going to say no. But it could affect his show. I think that's where we'll be able to measure that. And you throw out the orange man as a drapist and, cops are murderers and all that shit. There's a lot of people who are going to go, man, I liked your show, but fuck you. I'm never watching your show again. And while, because he's a fucking egomaniac, he probably thinks, especially when he praised himself, I'm awesome for calling out the cops. Oh, wow. Calling out the cops. Hard thing to do these days. Call out the cops. By the way, the cops are an entity that exists. They are not something that I root for or root against. They exist. I don't break up my pom-poms for cops, like I said on Lauren Chen, for a lot of reasons. But they're like people, good and bad. But you go out there and the audience will feel attacked, even if that wasn't your intention, which it probably wasn't because you're too fucking stupid. But and I feel very free calling you stupid because you were fucking stupid by doing that. You just needed to say, gosh, golly, I hope you see I'm in a Guy Ritchie movie with Henry Cavill. That's fucking awesome. And it's a true story. It's a true cool story. We kill a bunch of Nazis. Cool. Go see the movie. And thanks for watching Reacher. Go read the Lee Child books. That's all you ever fucking need to say. And you'll be immensely popular. No, you won't be saying anything. See, what happens with a lot of actors is they're really insecure people. Incredibly insecure. And they feel insecure about their job because in the big wide world where they get to see, and sometimes they see, that they're making tons of money pretending. And it can fuck with some people. Makes them feel guilty. You don't need to. If you're a good actor, you worked your ass off, it's a talent. And if you make money off it, fucking good. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. But they do. So they lack meaning because they're insecure and they play so many other people that they need to find meaning. That's why, sorry, ladies. Apologies to the ladies in the chat. But when actresses hit the quote unquote wall, the Hollywood wall, by the way, not my rules, theirs. When they hit the wall of 40, they automatically turn into activists, especially woke white women. Isn't it? Just notice that happen. Notice like, hey, they were cool. All of a sudden, whoa, marching with pussy hats on. What the fuck's going on? You used to be cool. It's part of the system that they're in, which is fucked up. And it's part of their lack of meaning in their life. Do they actually care about these politics? No, it's usually a deep-seated insecurity. It's been my observation. Vipercrest for 500 Norwegian krona with the super sticker. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Ara for $19.99. Hail, I gotten so fed up with the DEI shit. I am too. If it ends tomorrow and I never have to say it again, that would be so fucking brilliant. In today's media sphere that I've just retreated to the old stuff, my latest is Baywatch. Cheesy, yes, but what? Yeah, right on. What were they playing Baywatch in? I was in yeah, it was, we went to the, it was the Texas Department. It was like where we register our car. They had Baywatch on, which is fucking funny. But at least it was masculine men, competent but feminine ladies and titties. Yes. Ara. Praise Ara. No, that's the other thing we've talked about is Hollywood's now in competition with itself. Neon from Clownfish did a great video yesterday talking about this very subject, and he is correct. You could stop making comics, music, movies, and TV shows today, and you'd never get through all the old stuff that's already been done. I gave up when Tom King tried to cancel Jay Lee for doing a cover for Cyberfrog. And I guess Tom King woke up one morning with his pussy hurt and decided to like, Jay Lee is doing a cover for an unacceptable person, and that was it for me. That was my breaking point. I'm like, I had a pull list at a comic, and that was it. I wasn't liking 99% what I was reading anyway, but that was it. I was like, I'm done. And Az and I did it both on the same day. We're like, we're done. Incidentally, when Jay Lee found that out. He was on his way down to San Diego to put his dog down or to bury his dog. His dog had just died. So that's the day Tom King decided to fucking pile on him. Now, Tom King fucking retreated back into his hurt pussy or whatever, and then now is working for fucking James Gunn, DC DOA, with a fucktard like that. But that was enough. That was enough for me to like, I'm done. I'm out. And boy, was it a good decision. One that I don't look back on, that I don't miss at all. I read plenty of older comics. I have, I've been a comic fan all my life, but like, I didn't read a lot of DC when I was young. I didn't read a lot of the Silver Age. And fortunately, that's some of the most affordable because it's really weird and goofy. But reading a lot of that. Just going back and reading stuff I've already read. Because shit, I've forgotten it because it was 30 years ago. And I could do that forever. I can do that forever. And occasionally I buy like Conan from Titan. That's good. And Mark Millar stuff, but I'm good. I'm good. B-Chain 315 for $10. Love me some Nooner. Miss you, Chris, though you really shouldn't have taken that Billy Squier song literally. Oh, boy. Rotornator on the Streamlabs side for $1. I heard Sony censored Stellar Blade because of some art logo. That's gay. The Grizzly for $20. Excuse me. Nothing makes me happier to hear from Hollywood is broke. Good. Let the medium fail. I'm tired of everything pushing leftist policies and all these elites who never worked a day in their lives. Educate us, little people. Well, that's how a lot of creatives look at the fans. You are the little people. You are not worthy of an opinion. Because you can't pretend or produce pretend or direct pretend or play an instrument. You're just little people. Because I can play this guitar. I am now an expert on foreign policy and business. Darius White for $10. Of course, Kathleen Kennedy is woke. In 2015 Fortune interview, she was outraged, not by terrible jokes and humorless skits, but bemoaning the fact that there wasn't enough female cameramen on SNL. I remember that. She was also the quarterback of her team. Look into that one. Decoy44 for $10. Never knew how shitty yet somewhat well-written parody movies were made mocking society and family film perspectives. Low-key miss them. I miss them so much. I mean, like, Hollywood used to be introspective, Swimming with Sharks. They used to do a lot of movies where they loved making movies about some, but they would be critical of themselves. Daniel Todd for $2. The Real Hulk. The Real Hulk. Yes. Well, is the Real Hulk an Avenger? Technically, yes. But he fucks off very early. The Hulk is more of a defender than he is an Avenger, at least from my era, pre whatever the fuck they've done in the last few years. But largely, Hulk was there in the very beginning and fucked off. So Hulk is more of a defender than he is an Avenger. I would love to see a real Defenders movie. That's my favorite team. That's a crazy team. Valkyrie, the Brumhilde one that's white, big steel tits. And ranging characters, but Namor, Doctor Strange, the Hulk, and they always fought like fucking weird monsters. I loved it. Silver Surfer would join in. Eventually, Power Man comes in. Daredevil's part of that team eventually. And like at the very end, it's a bunch of X-Men, but it was a fun book. Lake Street, Croix, MFG for $10. McKinsey are corporate mercenaries. They produce reports to prove the CEO or whoever pays them are really smart. This is proof some studio exec is trying to save his job. I suspected as much. Thank you, Lake St. Croix MFG. I appreciate it. Johnny Depp slams Hollywood studios again. Good. Did he? Good. fuck him. He's got fuck you money. Go make your girl pirates movie that won't make more money than the porno did. And the porno will be better, by the way. I've seen it. I've seen the first Pirates porno, and it's actually funny. Yes, there's a bunch of porno shit in it, but it's actually funny. Thank you for the 27 Swedish krona. Tanagra for $10 says, thanks for the oasis of sanity in the desert of madness. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for the $10. Graph Web for $2. Cancel Disney. # cancel Disney Plus. Well, yeah, if you want to cancel Disney Plus now, you have to cancel Hulu and ESPN. Probably pretty easy. With Shogun, which is great. Yeah, I'm not going to recommend you go to Hulu and watch it. I'm going to recommend you be creative. Share a password. I don't think that's illegal on Hulu. Like find your mom or somebody like that. Share a password. A JRL 1436 for $9.99. Hi, Gary. Still working for on my fantasy story. I'm about a quarter done with one of my 7 continents. Holy shit. After world building for 2+ years. Just wanted to say thank you and have a good day. Have fun. So that's fun. My kid is starting to write his own stuff and learning about it and reading up on how to format scripts and stuff. And it's great. IO. I want to say low. Like we too low. No, it's IO for £5 i.e. McKinsey want Hollywood studios to hire them for millions to produce fancy PowerPoints on how they can exploit this mythical market. Yeah, well, exactly. That's the whole DEI game is a grift, a real grift. And what's a real grift? Do they really believe this stuff? No, they're totally, well, some probably do, but it's financially motivated. It is extortion. It is extortion. Andrew Matthews for £5. Gary, just look up the Gold House homepage. It says it all. Okay, let's take a look. It's called Gold House? Okay. Gold House. Is it Ventures? Or is it Numbers? Could you look into that, X-Ray Girl? So if I just put goldhouse.org. Preeminent community of Asian Pacific creatives. There we go. Gold House is a cultural ecosystem that unites, invests in, and champions Asian Pacific leaders to power tomorrow for all. Okay. So it's a faction of identity politics. There you go. Says it all. Stop the Asian hate. That's all I'm going to say. I loved that. Was so fucking funny when that hashtag was going around. And, I'm from San Francisco. I've got a quarter Asian son. I am very familiar where the hate comes from. My quarter Asian son was attacked on a fucking bus. I am very familiar where the hate comes from. So I'm like, let's see how long this hashtag lasts. And guess what? It just fucking got snapped by Thanos. It was gone. Once somebody did a little digging, just a little bit, they blew off some dust off a table. They're like, oh. And you know what it was? It was a woke white woman who fucking lives in Marin who doesn't know anything about anything except taking Cody and Dakota to fucking soccer practice right before God, I can't say that on you. You just can't. Before she takes him to the manual or automatic transmission shop. Mayhem Writing Company has donated $12.99. Thank you. Ro Jogan, 2002 for $4.99. My dad is a white American. I'm half Mayan, Indian, born in Guatemala. Moved to the U.S. as a baby. FDEI. Don't want my fucking representation. My people are dead. Yeah. So they still live in the blood of some of the people out there. Mayans were badass. Fear the Tardo for $5. Okay, Reggie. Tardo no like words either. P.S. Tardo, sorry, you're a 10. No like Tardo's super chat. Oh, shit. It was you. Promise no go on show no more. Lock it in, yay. Did you? Dude, X-Ray Girl, email me the super chat, okay? I've got Lauren's back on this one. Email me Gary at nerdrotic.com. Email me the super chat. Did you super chat Lauren? Oh, shit. She's probably like, what the fuck is this? Not Lauren. She's like, what the heck is this? Lauren's classy, okay? We don't have a lot of that around here, except for the ladies, 9%. Rest of you guys, get out of here. You're crass, and that's the way I like it. Tiger King for $5. Gary, the drawing I gave you at the meetup has Elvish and Gallifreyan. Were you able to read it? I can't read Gallifreyan. No. Is there something that translates it? I read, it was 20 years ago. It was only one. There's multiple forms of Elvish, by the way. So there was an Elvish translator that I read like 20 years ago on a plane out to Hawaii. So I might be able to catch a word. Yeah, I don't speak Elvish. I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not like, listen, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I never learned Klingon. I never learned Elvish. I'm a big fan of a lot of stuff. I'm not an expert in anything. Anything. Would never claim to be an expert in anything. But man, yeah, there's people out there who speak fluent Elvish, multiple dialects. It's fucking awesome. I love it. But if I'm going to learn a language, I mean, honestly, it'd probably be Spanish. That's probably the language I would learn. Bushin Ryu Cat for $5. Gary, if they rebooted Police Academy besides Vince Vaughn and as Mahoney, that's fucking perfect casting, by the way. But Vince Vaughn should have been Ghostbusters. He could have been the new Venkman. Don't call him Venkman. He could have been Vince Vaughn, but Vince Vaughn, yeah. And Sydney Sweeney as the love interest. Who else should you cast? R or Pete? Oh, for one, hard R. You make that one the hard R. The hard R. Oh, that's a good question. I'll let the chat do that. Ex-athlete. I'd have to give that some thought, but that's a very good start. I'm against remakes in principle right now, but I think that's a really good start. Sorry about your dog, Gary. I've been there, and it's hard with a good dog. The only thing harder is losing a baby. Been there too. Holy shit, that's way harder. Keep up the fight, sir. Hail. Sorry, Leighton Hellman, for $5. Sorry about that. You should watch the Thousand Suns episode 6, Tomorrowland. It's cute. I will. Jet Jaguar for $5. Thank you very much. Stephen Jordan for $4.99. What's your thoughts on the Game of Thrones spinoff, The Hedge Knight? Did you read this in the books? I did. It's another unfinished book series that they're going to adapt into a series. Good luck, HBO. I like it. And I think it has great potential to be a very good show. But you're not going to have any dragons. But you are going to have Brendan Rivers. That is the three-eyed crow from Game of Thrones. You are going to have Brendan Rivers. That is going to be fucking good because it really will. It'll take you through the Blackfyre rebellions, the Targaryen Blackfyre rebellions, which is, I mean, the Targaryens just fucking hated each other. But one Targaryen basically legitimizes all of his bastards, right? Which just and they make a new house called Blackfyre, which is really fucking cool, by the way. Yeah, dude, it's good stuff. But there's no dragons. I think any supernatural stuff they would do would be through, I can't say green seeing, but kind of like that. Werewoods. 1,000 Eyes and Ones, being able to warg. I think that's it'll focus on that because that's in the background of basically Dunk and Egg walking around. Lone Wolf and Cub. Same thing. And $5. The comics are really good too. Go check out the Hedge Knight comics. They're really, really good. Well done. You should play a Fallout game with Nerdrotic Jr., not on a stream or anything. It just could be a nice bonding opportunity. He wants to do that. He wants to start with Fallout 1. He did come up and hit me up. He hasn't seen the show, but he's all like way back in the lore, showing me lore videos, and everything about it is fucking cool. And the more I see the lore, I'm like, God, the more they really fucked this up. Kurt, especially where you see where like all the inspirations came from. Curtis D of Montana for $2. Baywatch is how you use slow motion, Zack Snyder. There you go. Matthew Hammond for $4.99. Do you think most of the studios will start licensing their IPs out to independent productions to avoid unions and DEI bridge? Yes. And I think, quite frankly, they have a greater potential to make money and less risk. Less risk. God bless Frank Gore, and may Parker's journey across the Rainbow Bridge be peaceful. As an aside, Darth Vader wore a mask, and we knew exactly what he was thinking because Prowse and Jones are actors. Mayhem Writing Company for $9.99, referring back to the question from yesterday, basically saying, they said that Halo, they had to take his mask off to show emotion, which is just utter bullshit. It's actually you can imprint more emotion on a mute or a masked character. It's usually ego, an actor's ego. Watched your other stream, and you said it was your old dog's time. It was. Hope you're well. How are you enjoying San Antonio? I'm about to move back to Las Vegas. Have fun in Las Vegas. I love San Antonio. Love it. AJX Skyland. Safe journeys. Las Vegas is cool. There's a lot of cool people who live there. Eddie Brock, 9043 for $2.49. Thoughts on Brian Bendis' 2009 Dark Avengers run? I liked parts of it, but ultimately it led to that whole 2009 thing. The Dark Reign thing was just. I have the entire crossover, every issue in that Dark Reign where the Dark Avengers, kind of lead to and part of. But Dark Reign itself, it's a long box. It fills an entire long box, just Dark Reign. So if you want to get every issue of the Dark Reign crossover, it is a fucking long box. It's ridiculous. Mad Dog 375, but I thought it was all right. Like Bendis was good at one time. Done watching new stuff, consistently disappointing. Disappointed, says Mad Dog 375. Yeah, I'll watch. Like I said, I've seen two good new shows this year. Two, Shogun and The Gentleman. Watch them both. When I'm not watching that stuff, my wife and I just rewatched Cobra Kai. Had a lot of fun. It's a fucking ridiculous show, and I love it. It very much takes the same arc as John Wick. It starts out very earnest and real and goes into fantasy land. I'm fine with it. I don't care. But I really hope they fight either aliens or dinosaur aliens at the end. Like dinosaur aliens invade the valley and they have to team up with Kreese and Terry Silver and all the old bad guys, and they all need to fight as one. The valley needs to fight as one to stave off the dinosaur aliens. It'd be fucking awesome. Matthew Dash for $6.99. Just noticed that Deadpool trailer had the CN Tower and Canadian flags. Were both characters really made for Canadian audiences then? Love you guys, by the way. Well, Wolverine's Canadian, for sure. Wolverine is 100% Canadian. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, we know, like, Canada, which is, how many people are in Canada, X-Ray Girl? What's your population? If you want it, you can just type it in the chat if you want. What's your population? She's not paying attention. 33 million last I checked. So that is the size of California, of the documented citizens in California. So a country that has the landmass of the United States, that has the population of California. You really want to steer things to them. Now, are you a little less surprised that they're so fucking wacky up there? Turd Rocket for $10. Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 are the only good Fallout games. Everything else since 1998 has been garbage. What about Fallout Vegas, though? Man, the Fallout Vegas guys are going to come after you. Watch out. If the show sucks, it perfectly fits modern Fallout. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Gary. Hell, I ain't drinking it. Because ultimately, I don't care. I mean, I watched it as a show and I judged it as a show and what they presented to me in the show. And I did not like it. Gave it a chance. Thought I was going to like it. Like a lot of the actors. You know, the actress who plays Lucy, easy on the eyes. She wasn't the worst thing about it. The worst thing about it was the writing. And the dialogue was terrible. Next to Last Starfighter for $5. New to the Fellowship. Welcome. It is an honor and a privilege. Thank you for all you do and giving me something to look forward to again. Cheers. Well, thank you for supporting us and keeping us sane. Because, wow, it's been a rough ride. Now we're at the end. Like I said yesterday, we're in the post-woke apocalypse world. We are in that. There will still be woke stuff. There's still a lot of radiation. There's a lot of mutation, a lot of devastation, a lot of subversion, a lot of representation, and a lot of inclusion. But we are definitely in the post-woke apocalypse world. Derek P.G. Beller for $1.99. Is Nerdrotic a playoff neurotic, erotic, or both? Yes. No. I'd say more of neurotic. The word, so the title came from misunderstanding somebody who was in my comic shop. I thought he said nerdrotic, and I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. And he's all, I didn't say that. I'm all, well, I think you said it, so that's even better. So it hit my head, and it was mid-2000s, and I got the domain name. So that was the first thing I could think of, was like, I'll just get the domain name, and I'll use it later. So I went to GoDaddy. I got the domain name and didn't use it for years. Didn't even use it at the beginning of this channel because I thought I was going to save it for later. And then when I saw the channel, I'm like, yeah, we're just going to use it here. Design my own logo. First design sucked. Second design better. Who are you and what have you done with Gary? 199. What did I say? Hot Dice 199. What did I say? Did I say something? Fallout New Vegas is the best game and still very playable. Fallout 1 and 2 have aged like milk in regards to gameplay. Okay. Blue Squat Thrust for $10. I will take your word for it. Mikhail Lopez for $2. Hi, Gary. Love your work. R.I.P. Doctor Who. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Lawrence Fox was out there tweeting about it. I'm like, yeah. Well, because he banked Billy Piper. So that's what he did. Might be a crass term for it, but that's what he did. They have kids together. Sorry for the loss of Parker, Gary. It was an honor to have met you last year and consider you a dude, not a hero. And white, too. Well, I am what I am. But thank you, Kung Fu Hot Dog, for £5 It was great meeting you. Just a dude. Just a dude. Hail Frank Gore. 199 says 50 Shades of Grayson for $2. I agree. Jackson Cagle for $2. Get well soon, Chris. Miss Popcorn Bucket King. Yeah. Yeah. Hirukami. Did I say that right? Probably not. For £5 Before he opened his mouth, I thought Alan Ritchson would make a good Darth Malagus. Yeah, now he's just going to make a good woke idiot. Turd Rocket for $5. New Vegas has better writing. Game mechanics are still crap, though. Lucy is hot, though. Humma. Come at me, Vegas boys. Larry Holcomb has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Hail. Eddie Brock, 9043 for $4.99. Jonathan Hickman's writing for Aliens versus Avengers series in July. I saw that. Thoughts? Will you be buying it? Last year, we got Predator versus Wolverine. Well, I really enjoy Batman versus Predator and Superman versus Aliens. The problem is I'd have to buy new comics. If I'm going to buy those comics, it will be secondhand on eBay. If. That's a big if. Jonathan Hickman, a little bit overrated. Good Fantastic Four run, though. Good Fantastic Four run. Bit overrated, though. Just going to say. The Claw, Jaloja, says, hey, I thought it was time for a change. Hail to the fellowship. Cheers. R.I.P. Good girl. Thank you, Paul M. Hail, Gary. Black Panther was overhyped. Unfortunately, it was a pretty generic story. Yeah, it wasn't like dog shit, okay? It wasn't a dog shit movie. It wasn't. There was so much worse. So much worse. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. Hi, Gary. Bye, Gary. Bye. The Buck broke Mr. House, says Nightmare. Twitter. The Buck broke Mr. House. What does that mean? Oh, that's Fallout stuff. Thank you, Nightmare, for $2. I got it. Opened this episode of YouTube and said, not found. Carolyn, like, when did that happen?
It's a joke. Like
okay.
Error 404.
Oh, like me?
404.
Oh, lol. Yeah. I get it now. You're making fun of me. I earned it. Hi. I had to go through with my sweetheart Jet 2. Parker will be waiting for you at the end of the Rainbow Bridge, just like Jet will. Hail, Parker. Hail. Hopefully she'll get along with all the other dogs. That's not in heaven. Death Judas says, Gary, you would love Parasite. Such dark humor. I'll check it out. I'll watch it. PK for 2 British pounds. Gary, is that Az's head in a spear? I mean, no. This is his. Yeah, it's a mask.
Oh.
It's one of his masks in King Theoden's helmet. So if you can see it a little better that way. So there's a replica of Theoden's helmet, and I put Az's mask in there so you can see it. There you go. You can come back, X-Ray Girl. We're almost done.
Oh, I was here. I just made you.
Japanese Demon Lord Abir Lucifer says, did you hear that Amazon and WB accidentally outsourced their animation work to North Korea? Apparently North Korea helped animate Invincible. Oh, really? Whoopsie doopsie doopsie doopsie. I don't know if that's violating any union rules, and I don't really care. I mean, was the animation better or worse? You tell me. I bet you it was better. Eric Brown says, Star Wars has lost hundreds a year from me. Yes. Yeah. So for these fucktards to come out and say that, you weren't diverse enough and you've potentially lost $30 billion. How much was it when you fucked up every single character you tried to adapt? Billions upon billions upon billions upon billions upon billions. Well, Carl Sagan on you right here. Great stream with Lauren. Have her on more often. I will. We're going to get her back on Friday Night Tights.
Yes.
Very soon. Lauren's she's a good one. She is a good one. A genuine good person. Whew. In this sphere, that's a good thing. Next to last Starfighter, welcome as a Jaloja member. We need to change that. It's supposed to be changed to the Fellowship. I don't know why it didn't change. David Wright for $9.99. First time super chat. Very long time viewer. Thank you. Ooh. Gary, I lost my bird Horace last Friday. Oh, did he fly away or did he die? Raised from an egg 25 years ago, and it's been hard. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a long time. I miss her and feel your pain. Hail Horace. Hail Horace. Hail Horace. It's flying around with Parker up there in heaven. Prayton Phoenix says, sorry about Parker. I know the pain all too well. Yeah, it's brutal. Like everything's about it is brutal. Putting your dog down. And like I said earlier, you give her that last treat, and all of a sudden they just and they look more energetic than they have in years. And tail's wagging. She's all, and then we lay her down. They give her the sedative, which is like really good drug. She was just like, and then it was, then they had to put in the other shot, and it was tough. Whole family was there. And we're gonna make her a little shrine. We kept her collar. We're gonna frame a little picture of her and put her little ashes on like a little shelf and stuff. So, yep, it sucked. I was watching Clarkson's farm. Usually Parker's like right below my feet, snoring away, and I miss it. I already miss it. The house feels a little emptier, but it sucks. It sucks. And I miss talking to my pal Chris Gore. But we'll be all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this Nooner. Go check, if you haven't, go check out, I was on Lauren Chen earlier, and I'm going to go off and probably make a video. We'll see.
Yeah. Also, BBC plushies.
Oh yeah. I suck at this. I really suck at this.
That's what I'm here for. So, very exciting. Cthulhu Mahler, Peeping Tom Az, and Gary of Rivia and myself. And thank you guys. We fully funded the plushies, so I'm very excited to get
We're fully funded. We got 18 days left. And we can have Perry make a commercial because I'm always going to forget. So if we can make like a quick commercial to put at the beginning, I think that would probably help.
Maybe. We'll let him know. And not only that, but we have FNT jackets.
Yeah, Mahler's crushing it. Well, Mahler's got a good plushie. Okay.
Mahler's got the cutest little octopus friend that's adorable. So
yeah, Mahler's crushing right now. That's great.
Yeah, so FNT jackets as well, where you can get a personalized name. The varsity jackets. This is going to be my first varsity jacket. We didn't have a sports team in my high school. That was very good. But
really?
Yeah. That's what happens.
What kind of sports? Don't you have one sport where you're pushing what's it called again? You're pushing shit on ice. What is
Hockey?
It, Canadians? No, what's the one where you push shit on
curling?
Curling. Yeah, you have fucking curling.
Yeah, we never did that. I was at an art school, so
okay.
Other things. We were preoccupied.
And what's funny is the art school in San Francisco has a football team.
What?
It does.
Not enough men to have a football team. I'm shocked.
I just want to say I've never seen a game, but they have a football team.
But if you want to have a varsity jacket that is FNT themed with your name on it, you should definitely check out Flagrant Triggers. All of these are in the description. Now, I just totally went to the wrong one. And there was one more thing. Mrs. Nerdrotic wanted me to share this. I'm not going to say the drug name, but we got if you want to give
fuck it all
to Chris Gore, you can make a PayPal donation to that Chris Gore if you so choose. So I know he doesn't like these types of things.
She forced him to do it.
Yeah, she forced him.
Yeah, she like really said, shut up. So
plus, I like this. It's pretty.
I like the fuck it all.
So yeah, if you wanted to help him out a bit with whatever, that Chris Gore on PayPal. So
yeah,
there you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Whether he likes it or not. I think that's everything. We got a super chat. Hey, love the show. This is from Larry Holcomb for 20 euros. Hey, love the show. Long time lurker, first time super chatter. So no problem, LOL, but hold down my hometown, San Antonio. Love and miss my city, and hopefully we can meet in Heroes and Fantasy, my old stomping grounds from me. That's the comic shop I shop at. That is the comic store I shop at. When I go to buy my Conan book or my Mark Millar book or the occasional toy, that's where I haven't been there in a couple months when I get my I really like the short boxes that are themed. I like the older ones. They have like they have like a Thor long box or a Daredevil short box. What's funny is I'll say like, show me your long boxes, but the fact of the matter is I don't have any long boxes anymore.
They're too heavy, I think.
Yeah, they're fucking dumb. So I got short boxes. I got short box. After you move with a collection of my size full of long boxes, you're like, I'm done with these things. I'm done.
How many comics fit in a long box versus
Depending.
short box?
Okay. So it ranges from, it's a couple hundred. It can get to a couple hundred.
Ooh,
Okay.
So big.
Couple hundred, give or take, depending on the era and the range. And the weight is vastly different. So if it's like Bronze Age, it's like 8, 9, 10 pounds. If it's modern, it's 30 to 40 pounds.
Oh, that's heavy. No, thank you.
So it's a huge difference in weight. But yeah.
There's a couple more super chat.
You can read them.
Sasquatch for $2 says Luke Caverns is doing a USA tour. FF research. Ooh, I'll have to check out what he's up to. And maybe we can have him on after he's finished touring. Cyrodian for 10 says, sorry, I'm a bit behind. McKinsey was deeply involved in the Enron debacle.
Oh, really?
Thank you, Cyrodian.
I might have to do a little deep dive. I had, I think it's time for another Hollywood video. There's enough material for one. It will take me a minute, but I was going to try to turn one around for tomorrow, but I don't know if that's even humanly possible at this point because more information keeps coming. But we'll work on it. Have a good one. You inspire me to start a channel. Good. Wagon Burner.
And Lord Moore for sorry.
Real quick, somebody sent me an email. You know who you are if you're out there. And you said you did a Star Trek video and it didn't get traction. So you're giving up on your channel. Don't give up. Videos don't get traction in the beginning. They just don't. Especially like starting now, this is like a really slow period for YouTube for the most part. Not in every sphere, but especially with Star Trek. Maybe if you release it towards the end of Discovery, it might get a little more traction. Timing is a thing too, but don't give up. Don't give up off one video. Do not give up off one video.
You barely started, right?
Yeah. Keep it going. It's okay. It's all good. It gets frustrating. It's certainly frustrating, but if you go at it with like, hey, I'm just having fun here, then it's all gravy, right? Yeah. So.
And Lord Moore for 10 British pounds says, love you guys. Gary buy X-Ray Girl a coffee crisp. Don't know if you've seen yet, but the fight between Deadpool and Wolverine is a remake or shot for shot fight between Toby and Peter and Flash. Okay.
Yes. Oh, and that's cool. That's totally cool. I like it. I have no problem with that. But it's almost like, shot for shot, hit for hit, or miss for miss. The same fight, and they were definitely paying homage, and I have no problem with that. That's cool. I liked it. I like that. I saw that going around on Twitter. So thanks everyone again. You can catch this on Nerdrotic Live on the re-upload, or just hang on to the link and continue watching away. It'll be unlisted. And we'll be back next Wednesday for a Nerdrotic Nooner.
And one more, because you guys keep on sending them in. Crit Nature for 10. I forgot CHF. I'm sorry. Just finished Shogun episode 10 yesterday. Great show overall, but I was hoping to get a battle in episode 10. Just a 1 minute heavy CGI scene with a resolution was kind of lame and disappointing to me.
Yeah, we'll see. I have 2 episodes to watch, and I'm going to watch tonight. So, all righty. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to the lurkers. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on, and we will see you next time.